Hey everyone, it's Amanda and MonicaRloomy, and we are here today with a new design called the LoLi bracelet. It's L-O-L-I, and it is by our friend Polly Looms, P-O-L-I_Looms on Instagram. She asked us if we would do a tutorial for her gorgeous design, and we said of course. We loved the look of it. Here it is. Isn't it stunning? She used some of the medieval and the pearl bands in this one. In the renditions that we did, this one is using the silicone neon bands. And here, this is using what we're going to be doing today for an average size wrist, a full 2 loom links. And this is the 100% silicone one. I just love how vibrant the neons are in this one. And then this one I made these two for a young man in my class. So I made them a little smaller. And these colors are the school colors of the school that I work at. Orange and blue. And this is for him. He loves sporting the Rainbowloom bracelets that Amanda and I make. He's all about them, and his mom loves to have them matching. Here's the back of the bracelet. This is a signature side. I just love how on this one it's the neon orange from Rainbowloom and it comes out. And then this one, now Amanda's gonna love this bracelet, and I mean, I love the colors in it, but his mom is a huge University of Louisville fan. I am a huge University of Kentucky fan. I'm a Wildcat. Go Wildcats. Amanda's a Cardinal fan. And in our city, Louisville, the color scheme is black, white, and red for Louisville. So his mom and he are Louisville fans. So I made this for him and his Louisville color. So now that it's basketball season, he can wear this wearing his Louisville shirts. And I used the tie-dye opaque mix on this one. And these are all the opaque colors except for the orange. And it's still an opaque orange, but it's a neon opaque orange here. The regular opaque orange is in the middle. But I just liked how that, and let me just say, I am not one that likes to go through, like I hate going through the skin tone pack. I hate going through the pastels. But I do love the design of just the red and white on the sides on this one. So for our setup on the looms, you will need 6 pins. You'll need 2 loom links for an average size wrist. Now for me, for a larger wrist, you will need probably 2.5 loom links, I would say. I haven't made one for myself yet. I will make one. And when I make one and post it on Instagram, I will let you know exactly how many pins past the 2 loom links it was. Because I know there are some ladies out there that do like to make theirs longer, that have a larger wrist. So you will need 6 bar pins. You will need 2 at each level. Here's one of the 2 level. Then you go down with 2 and then back up with 2. And then I have 2 loom links. And I'm going to go all the way to the end. Then I'm going to be using one of the cute new colored C-clips from rainbow.com. Rainbowloom.com. I don't know what rainbow.com is, but go to rainbowloom.com. And today, for the color scheme for our bracelet, I'm going to be using one of our best friends on Instagram and Facebook and anywhere else. 5 Kids Cause Chaos, Miss Jo. One of her color schemes. We are obsessed with her color schemes. She comes up with some of the best color schemes. So this one is called Midnight Pink. And we're actually adding 1 color to it because you kind of need 4 different colors. You could use less. But to show you exactly how on this one to do each one of the sets or the different parts of it, you're going to need 4. So for her color scheme, it is comprised of 3 colors: the navy jelly, the rose pink jelly, and the opaque black. This is hers. Now we are going to add to it, because we need 4, the ocean blue opaque. I thought about doing the jelly blue that was the ocean jelly blue, but I didn't really like the way it looked. And the part that we're putting that in, it's just going to make it kind of pop out a little, and that's exactly what I want it for. So if you will go and get your supplies and come right back, I will be ready for you. All right, to start out this bracelet, what we are going to do is we are going to be making the first part of the perimeter and then these 2 sides where I have the neon yellow. But for our rendition, we're going to start out with the perimeter, and I'm going to alternate colors. I'm going to alternate the jelly navy blue and the jelly pink. So first we're going to start out with 2 navy blue jellies in the middle, those 2 middle bands. And now these are single bands that I'm putting on. And you're going to go over one and over again. Then you're going to go do the same thing. What you do to one side, you do to the other. Like that. That's all of the perimeter that we're putting on now. This is a growing part where we're going to be putting X's on here now. So what we're going to do is, now that I have the navy blue here, I'm going to alternate the colors. On these, I did not alternate the colors, but I just think it is kind of cute that these can be alternating. So this is very important in how you place this first band. You're going to place it from the left to the right on that side, and then from the right to the left on this side. Okay? And that's how you need to go the entire way up. Okay? So I just made X's in the pink. Now I'm going to make an X the same way. You go from the left to the right. It's running away. And then from the right to the left. That's going to help when we're looping. And you're just going to go all the way up the... Really? Really? Why do you do this to me? Alright. We're just going to go all the way up the loom like this. And I like to go on the opposite side, so I make sure that I have everything put in the correct order and in the correct positions that it needs to be. Because sometimes if I am watching something, or if I'm listening to music and just singing my little heart out, not saying that I'm singing very well, but if I'm singing or doing whatever, then I can miss a step. So I always like to go and do everything on each side and not go all up one side and then all up the next side. All right, I'm going to go all the way down the full 2 lengths of the loom, and I will be right back. So I have gone all the way to the pin right before the end with my X's. Now I'm going to close off the perimeter with the jelly blue. I'm going to go across those 2 last X's. And I'm going to go in. And go in. Now I'm not going to cut it or put my cap band on yet because we have other parts to put on still. Alright, so I'm going to go all the way back to the end, and I'm going to start doing another row right in these middle 2 of X's again. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to alternate the colors again, but I'm going to make sure that the color, like right here I have pink, so I'm going to put blue here. And then I'm going to do pink here, blue, so on. You understand. So in the middle, we're going to go from left to right, and then you're going to go from right to left. Okay, and you're just doing this all the way up, just like you did before, to the end of the loom. and alternating those colors, so then when you take it off, it's going to be opposite of what the outside colors are. And I am going to continue doing this off camera because I figure if you could do the outside, that you could do the inside just the same. I'm going to continue doing this, and I'll return when I finish to the end. So I went all the way down here to the end with my last X. I'm still not closing off with the cat band. I'm going to go back to the beginning. Now I'm using my opaque black. And I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to take it from the second bar pin to the third bar pin. I'm taking it from the fourth to the, from the fifth to the fourth. I'm just doing that all the way up the loom. Ooh, it pops off. Just making these, I think they look kind of like ribs, so I'm going to say they're popping off. Really? Why you gotta be so rude? Why you gotta be so rude? They look like ribs to me, so I'm going to say I'm going to continue putting the ribs to the bracelet on. And I will, if they don't stop popping off, I will return. Alright, I went all the way down to the end of the loom with the ribs of black. Here are my last two ribs. I don't go over top of the perimeter band. Now I'm going to go back to the very beginning of the loom. And on the third and fourth rows, I'm going to use my ocean blue. And I'm going to do 2 single chains going all the way down to the end. I'm sure everyone knows how to do the single chains. This is our last step in this bracelet before we put the cat band on. So you're just doing these 2 single chains all the way down. Alright, so I have my 2 single chains that I have gone all the way here to the very end on top of the perimeter bands. Now it is time for me to place I have 2 bands here, 2 cat bands, and I'm just doing it over once. I'm not doing a triple, just a double. I'm putting it over these 2 right here, those 2 pegs. Alright, now I'm going to flip the loom around. And our first thing that we are going to do is we are going to loom out these single chains that we just put on, okay? The ocean blue single chains. So I'm going inside of that cat band and pulling the ocean blue single chains up. Just keep doing that all the way down the loom. And this should be fairly easy because it's just looming out a single chain. And you're just going to the very end of the loom with this. Make sure you don't skip any, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've loomed out the 2 single chain ocean blues. I'm going back to the end of the loom. Now we're going to loom out the opaque blacks. Now this is a different technique. We are going to take the band back. We're going to go inside of the ocean blue first, and we're going to loom it back to itself, okay? And we've done this in a couple of our tutorials before, but now we're going to go back underneath, pull back the top of the band that you just pulled over, and grab the underneath band and pull it back to where the other end of the band was. So I'm going to do this one again, and make sure you don't grab those X's underneath this yet. So I'm going to grab this band and make a teardrop. Then I'm going to pull back the top band that I just put on there, and then I'm going to grab it's the same band, it's just the other end of it, and pull it over top and put it back on the band, or on the peg that it was just on. The other end was just on. So in essence, I am just switching from this end over here and from this end over here. So I'm going to go make a teardrop. And if you want to make teardrops on all of them first, you can, if that's easier for you to do, and then go and switch them up. you can do that. For me, it's easier if I know that I've done all of them. So I've done the teardrop. Now I'm pulling back the band and switching them out. Go over here, make a teardrop, pull the band back, switch out the bottom part of the band, and I'm just doing this all the way up on every single one of these black opaques. Make the teardrop, pull back the top part of the band, grab the bottom part, loom it back. Make a teardrop, pull back the top part, grab the bottom part, loom it back. It's a lot of steps for one band, but it makes this gorgeous looped effect here on these renditions, and I just love it. So you're going to do this all the way up the loom. I'm going to do this a few more times on camera, and then I'm going to go off and finish. If you don't get it the first time, just rewind the video and see what I'm doing. I'm pulling the band over, making a teardrop, grabbing the top of the band and pulling it back, grabbing the bottom part of the band and putting it back on the pin, if it will cooperate. Make a teardrop, pull back the top, grab the bottom, return it to the pin. Alright, I'm going to go and do the rest of these off camera, and I will be right back. So I went through and I loomed out all of the black opaque bands. Now I will tell you, I always do, after I've done my bands and gone to the end, I always go back and make sure that I haven't missed any. And one of the ones that I had done on camera around here somewhere, and I had shown how it would look on the example or the renditions that we had done, I didn't do the second part of the looping. So I went back and did that. So it was a good thing that I checked. It's always a good thing to do a second look through instead of pulling it off with a loom and you have a mess on your hands. So our next step is we are going to loom out the perimeter bands. It's just these bands that are right around here. So you go in behind the cat band and the X right there and you loom it out. The same thing on the other side. Alright, now we are going to do the middle first. The two outside are our last step. The middle is first, and the middle are not going to do the same thing with the X's like we do the outside. So the middle X, we're going to start on the left, and we're not going to bring the left over to the left. We're going to bring the left straight up, and then our right straight up. Okay? You're going to do this the whole way up the loom. Straight up, instead of taking it back to where the other end of it is. You're going to just keep going straight up. Alright, so I'm going to continue doing this. You're taking each band going straight up instead of going left and right. And I'm going to continue this to the end, and I will be right back to show you how to loom out these side pieces. So I went all the way to the end, looming out those center X's, but going straight up instead of left and right. Now, back to the beginning. I'm going to start on the left side. Everyone knows I start on the left side, but if you're going to start on the right, totally fine, not a problem. Alright, but it does matter which side, left or right, you start with on the X part. So you are going to need to start on the left, the farthest one out, and go in. And now you're just looming out the X's. And then on this side, you're going to start on the right, the farthest one out, and going in. Alright, and you're just going up. Always start on the bar farthest out, either the left or the right, whichever one it is. This side it's going to be the left, this side it's going to be the right. Okay, and you're just going up the entire lengths of the loom, and the only thing we will have left to work on is the perimeter on the very tip top. So I'm going to continue looming out these X's. Remember, you start with the band that is on the farthest loom peg. On this side it's the left, and on this side it is the right. That's the one you're going to start with. Alright, I'm going to continue off camera. So here I have got all the way up to the very end of the loom with the X's. Literally the only thing I have left to do is to loom out the perimeter. So I'm going in and grabbing those navy jelly bands and pulling them in. As Amanda's texting me again. Alright, then I just pulled them into these two center ones. Remember, we put those two together. Now we're going to pull all of our bands back, and I'm going to grab those. Grab it with one, and then make sure you pull all of those back and grab it with the other. Put all four sides on your hook, and then I'm going to grab one of the larger C-clips colored ones. I just love them. I wish Rainbowloom would come out with different colors other than just the ones that are in that pack. Alright, so this isn't really a tight bracelet to have to go off the loom, but I still like to get the first pegboard and the last pegboard off before I start doing it, so it's very easy. And especially using these jelly bands, it's seriously very easy to get them off. But I'm just going to pull these off just to make it a little bit easier. And as you can see, it's going much faster than some of the tighter bracelets that have a lot of tension on them. We just don't want anything to snap. I'd rather take an extra couple minutes to do this than have a couple bands snap. Alright, I'm just taking it off of the first couple pins so I have something to grasp onto. Alright, and then I'm just kind of pulling up, and it comes straight off. And there's not hardly any, let me put the loom out of the way, there's not hardly any bit that you have to pull out of the way or back into position. It comes off the loom and it looks gorgeous. I mean, I love this color scheme that Joe has come up with. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, this is the LoLi bracelet, and here's another rendition. Here is all of the renditions that we have. If you choose to make this bracelet, if you would please tag and hashtag Miss Polly Looms on Instagram. She's amazing. Give her a follow. She has a gorgeous Instagram account. If you would also tag and hashtag us, we love to see your renditions. Also, if you like this video, would you please give us a big thumbs up and give us a like, a comment, subscribe. We have lots of tutorials coming out soon. And the bracelets that I am wearing today are the Charming Checkerboard by Claire's Wares. I just wanted to say, I have had this bracelet. I made this bracelet probably in June, May or June of last year. And I made one for me and I made one for Adam. And because we had to be twinsies. I mean, come on now. And these are all Rainbowloom bands. And I wear this all the time. And it is still in a perfect condition. So that is what good quality bands do for you. So this is the Charming Checkerboard. These are two of the bracelet designs from 5 Kids Cause Chaos. This one is Cupid's Bow. And this one is Oh So Simple. You can find these on our channel by our dear friend Joe, 5 Kids Cause Chaos. And I hope you all have a great day, and I hope you all will make the Lilo bracelet. We just love it. Love the idea. I love the idea of these black bands, the black opaque bands. I just think that is such a cute idea. And when I make one long enough for me, I will post how many pins longer I do on the third pin bar setup. So, Hope you all enjoyed this. Have a great day. Bye.